Into what land banking is all about and how I initially found it. I ended up in California, recruited out of college to work at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. That's what brought me to the beautiful Bay Area. And I worked there for about 10 years. And back in 2007, they went through a major transition. As a result of that transition, they completely changed their benefits. So I had to decide, do I take my old 401k and roll it into the new 401k program? And I vividly remember sitting at my kitchen table, kind of like this guy, not super freaked out, but the only way this is going up is when I put money into it. This is ridiculous. I'm never going to be able to retire at that rate. So I knew I needed to do something different. And I wanted to invest in something real, an asset that would actually go up in value without me having to effort over it. And so the obvious choice was real estate, especially here in California, coming from New Mexico, where real estate is a completely different price value than it is here in California. I was like, okay, the wealth is created in real estate here in California. So I started looking into investing. I got my real estate license, went to seminars, read books. And along the way, I decided, I don't really want to do the tenants, toilets, termites thing. Not to say that that's bad, not to say that that's wrong. It just wasn't for me. And I didn't give up, so I eventually ended up finding something called land banking. Now, I guarantee all of you have seen this happen before your very eyes, 100%. Who's lived in the Bay Area at least 10 years or more? Okay, pretty much most of you. So you're going to recognize this. Land banking, by definition, is the practice of buying affordable, pre-developed land located in the path of growth. So here's a great example. This is just down the street from here. Milpitas, 1993. This is a backdated Google Earth image. And when I say pre-developed means there's existing developments, existing infrastructure, so that's 880, 237. But look at this. Tasman isn't even a road in this picture. McCarthy isn't even a road in this picture. Imagine you could have purchased land in this area for $1,000 to $10,000 per acre at that time. $1,000 an acre. Mind-blowing. I actually know somebody who bought 10 acres of land in this picture at that time for $10,000. There is now a super target sitting on that land, created generational wealth because of that one property. This is the power of land. So we want to buy it when it looks like this. Click the button. 7 years later, you can see the amount of growth and development that's happened. I hear someone's being paged, I think. Someone has to sing happy birthday. In this next, so 7 years later, tremendous growth. So obviously it's a high growth area. That's where we want to be, where development is constantly coming. So now what is there less of? Yes. And what happens to the value when there's less of it? Simple supply and demand, simple economics. Today, or you're talking 2 to 7 million per acre, if you can even find an acre of land. Good luck. This is land banking at its finest. It's simply being in the way of development. Simple, not easy. There's a tremendous amount of work and research that goes behind doing this correctly. And like I said in my elevator pitch, all a person has to do to get rich in America is find out where people are going, get there first, buy land while it's affordable, and then wait. It's truly that simple. So the biggest risk in land is not what you see. It might look like it's in the path of growth. It might look great. Your well-meaning neighbor or friend or family member might say, hey, there's a piece of property that's really, really cheap. You should buy it. Maybe, maybe not. There's a lot of hidden landmines that come with land that people are not aware of. And land is very different than traditional real estate, where you get miles of disclosures for a house. You got to figure it out yourself with land. And that's where our company comes in. They've been doing this for 47 years, doing the research and due diligence of the land to find the right areas to invest in. And this is what happens when you do that. This is an example of one of my multiple parcels of land. My property is right here. Pre-developed area, right? There's dirt, there's development. I bought this property in 2014. I've had developers knocking on my door for years wanting to buy it. I haven't sold it. I'm not in a rush to sell it. Why? Because the longer I hold it, the more it's worth. This is what that area looks like now. Literally 10-year period from there to there. Went from $1.15 per square foot to over $30 per square foot. Bought it for $92,000, now worth over $2 million on that particular property. Rick knows the numbers because he watches those things. So we want to invest in an area where there's multiple economic trends causing it to grow. We don't want to invest in some place where it's just a quote unquote bedroom community where it's mainly just housing. We want areas where industries are moving in. And I'm not going to get into the super details. I don't have that kind of time today, but here's some examples of things that are consuming land and that consumed these properties right here. Industrial, trade and logistics, manufacturing. California is the gateway to the Pacific. That is a powerful place to own land. About 40% of all goods coming into America coming through California. Well, they don't just hop off the boat and end up in the store. They go to massive distribution centers, warehousing, or even better yet, Amazon, e-retailing, right? Everybody's buying stuff online. So even if it's not going into a store, it's going into massive distribution fulfillment centers. Knowing where that is happening is part of the key of what we do. So simple, not easy. Land is finite. It is one of those unique assets that has always beat inflation. We can't make any more of it. And everyone and everything needs it. We invest in it because it is the everyday need. And actually here in California, by the way, we only invest in land in California. Surprisingly, there's still affordable land in California. You can buy land as cheaply as 25 grand. So this isn't just for the wealthy. This is for the average person to create wealth with land. In California, as of 1998, this was a UC Berkeley study, there was only 2% of California's land left to be developed. We're a massive state. You might see a lot of land. However, not all of that land is developable. So being aware of that, this is the reason why California real estate is so expensive, because there's very little land left. The Lincoln Land Institute has done studies, and they have found that over 63% of the value of homes on average is the dirt, not the structure on top. So there's something else that is critical that we all use every day as well. Some of you might know the answer, so don't answer this. But think about it. What is it?
Water.
Water's a good one. Oh, we all use Amazon every day, right? We all use our phones. We all use our vehicles. We all use the AI.
Electricity.
Bam! And Teresa said it first, but she was cheating. Energy, electricity. None of this is possible without electricity, right? We use it every single day. Well, right now, the greatest shift of wealth in the history of the world is happening across the globe, and it all has to do with energy and our energy sources. So, Babette, you and your husband are in the right business, let me tell you. There is a lack of electricians. Such a lack, actually, that Google is paying to educate people how to become electricians. This is a serious situation. So this is also causing the greatest land rush in America's history, and even more so in California's history. So let me show you an example of where it's happening. Everybody buy land here. Let me tell you. What? Why? There's nothing there. This is the alternative energy capital of the world according to New York Times, 2012. If I told you to buy land here, you'd probably say I was crazy. Well, what you don't realize, and what people other than the wealthy don't know, is there are laws on the books now happening at this point that are saying we have to start going to green energy. So look at this line right here. Do you see that? Southern California Edison, similar to PG&E, but in Southern California. They're putting in high tension power lines. $3.5 billion worth of high tension power lines out in the quote unquote middle of nowhere. Why are they doing that?
Solar explosion.
Bam! Solar explosion. This is what happened literally 12 years later.
Yeah.
Wind, solar. By the way, Warren Buffett is right here. He has a 9 square mile solar project. He was one of the very first developers to come into this area. Why? Because he's smart. He has a whole team of people who are looking at the laws on the books and learning how to make money from it. There's the high tension power lines, and this is where we were positioning our investors and continue to. This is only a small snapshot of the particular area. That's 14.9 miles by 9.8 miles of massive utility scale solar projects. These solar projects, some of them, by the way, that energy is powering us here in Northern California. Again, this is all because of laws on the book that are mandating the use of my land. Thank you very much. So what is the overarching mandate? Because there's multiple of them on different levels. Senate Bill 100 here in California, which was passed in 2018, that says by the year 2045, 100% of California's energy must come from alternative energy sources, zero carbon sources. Well, where are those projects going to go? Are they going to go here in the Bay Area? We just got through. There's no more land in the Bay Area. Plus, you need to have the appropriate sun exposure. Plus, you have to have developable land. Plus, you have to have the high tension power lines. There's a lot of aspects to it. So this is the National Renewable Energy Laboratory map. The darker the red, the more intense the sun. So if you're Warren Buffett, you want to be where the best sun is. Well, not all of this land is developable. Actually, a lot of it is government land, public land, military land. Death Valley is out there, that type of thing. The number one location in not just California, but America is right there where that little star is. That's where hundreds of billions of dollars has already been invested in infrastructure, solar, wind, battery energy storage projects, you name it, it's going down at a very rapid pace. So the big question is energy needs increasing or decreasing over time? More people, more all the things we want to use, especially that one. Thank you, AI. And we all love to drive our cars all over the place. Well, California, by the year 2035, California has mandated that all new cars have to be electric vehicles. And I have to say, thank goodness there are electric vehicles on the road today, because how expensive would gas be if we didn't have electric on the road right now? It's already insane. We have hit peak gas cars, so every year after this, it's going to be less and less on the road here in California, and you can see the numbers throughout America. And then, of course, AI. We love it, makes life easier, and it's very, very, very costly when it comes to energy. The amount of energy, mind-blowing. Like, my mind is literally blowing like that little robot dude. It is crazy what's happening. So just in California alone, there's about 300 data centers, AI centers, just in California. They're saying by the year 2030, they could consume the equivalent of adding another city the size of Los Angeles to the state's power grid. That's 3.8 million people added to the state in 4 years. That's not possible with population growth, but with energy consumption, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's even more than that, because there are things happening even at the government level regarding AI that we know that is coming in. It's like, my goodness, where is all the energy going to come from? So here's a little graph on energy projections just for AI across the globe. Huge amounts. Some of these data centers require the same amount of energy as an entire city just by themselves. So thank you, emerging technologies. We need the energy to make it happen. According to the International Energy Agency, solar is the #1 source and the fastest way to meet our energy needs. It is also the cheapest way to meet our energy needs. Solar has been the #1 form of new electricity installed across the United States for over 2 years. And the most amount ever was installed last year when we had a president that's saying no more. Just so you know about that, he doesn't want to spend federal money on this. However, these projects are coming in with private money on private land that people like us own. So this is setting up California to be independent and to continue to be an economic powerhouse. Like they're saying, the California Air Resources Board Chair, as the 4th largest economy and global beacon of clean energy innovation, we are busy building the future. They want to win the AI race. Well, you got to have energy if you want to do that. That's why China is implementing this at the fastest rate ever, because they want to be energy independent. They don't want to deal with this geopolitical stuff. So more than $1 billion per day being spent on energy deployment. And then there's something else that's coming down the road. These guys, robots. Have you heard that Tesla is going to stop making some of their model vehicles, retool their manufacturing plants to now start building robots? So this is a whole nother wave that is just starting to take off. And of course, a lot of energy needed. By the way, have you noticed the Amazon trucks are now electric? A lot more electricity needed there. Oh, and wait, there's more. California now wants to start selling more renewable energy to other states, not just powering California. So California wants to become their own electric company. And of course, what is needed? Tremendous amounts of dirt. So welcome to the new age oil well. Here's some pictures for you guys. I'm going to fast forward because I know I'm running out of time here. I wanted to give you guys an example of what's happening for our investors. You can see these things are massive, multiple square miles large. As a matter of fact, one of those pictures is a 13 square mile solar project that Amazon has committed to buying all of the energy from, just for their data center, just Amazon alone. It's crazy. So here's one of my investors. She purchased a 10-acre parcel for $150,000 in 2022, March of 2022 to be specific. Notice high tension power lines. Yes, baby, I want to snuggle right up to those high tension power lines. Whoever would have thought. November 2022, a few months later, she gets an offer letter from developer who wants to buy it. Double the price 6 months later, $300,000. She bought it for $150,000. Part of our service that we provide to our investors is helping them to negotiate on these parcels, and we do it for free. So we said, you never take the first one. By the way, never take the first offer. February 2023, next offer, $500,000. We were like, okay, that's a pretty good offer. We think you should take it. Who takes the offer?
No, write it out.
No. Kamala's a hard one. No. Next offer, $700,000. Take it?
Nope.
Oh, no. Wow, Kamala. Okay, so March 7th. 1 day later.
Yeah, 1 day, see?
For saying no. Who has made $50,000 in 1 day for saying no? We have. Take it. I said take it. This is an insane number. This is an insane number. That's 1 year she had that property.
Only she's going to reinvest it.
Then she was going to reinvest it. Yeah,
land,
right?
Sure.
She ended up not taking it. Anyone want to guess what the next offer is?
$3 million.
Oh, come on.
Let's be realistic. Come on now. $150,000. Next offer, $1.3 million.
That was close, though.
There's 1.3 million. I almost fell off the chair when I saw that one. Nope, she still didn't take it.
That's right.
Final offer, 1.5 million purchase price on that property.
And that was in 2023.
Yeah, that was
So it
2023.
was a year and a half after.
Yeah. This is another investor of mine. She's leasing her land. So she's, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to lease it. I'm going to lease it for 35 years. She's leasing it for 35 years. She has a 3% escalation fee. She bought it for $75,000. She's making over $60,000 a year for 35 years plus interest. She's making over 3.6 million, and in the end, she still owns the dirt.
But that's over 35 years.
35 years. She's making an 80% return annually. I don't know what other assets out there get that kind of thing. So we invest in land because it's stable, it beats inflation. It's one of those things that are always needed. And we like to work with investors. This is a long-term investment. This is not a get-rich-quick thing. It's through the natural growth and progression of an area. So average investment range, 25,000 to 2 million, cash 401k IRAs.
But
We
2 years
also,
is fast.
it's fast. We also pay generous referral fees as well. So if you want to be a referral partner, please talk to us. My husband is actually training my referral partners, and you can also potentially go on a trip around the world. I take my top referral partners around the world every year. This is all of them, except for these guys. These are the owners of the Velour.
That's the top list. We have way more.
Yeah, that we take to Tahiti in that case. So if you hear people say things like, I'm sick of tenants, toilets, termites, troubles. My 401k only goes up when I put money into it. I'll never be able to save enough money to retire. I need to do a 1031 exchange. I need to diversify. Come talk to us. We're happy to talk. We're not here to sell you guys anything, just letting you know what's possible out there. We want to pay you money. And if you want to learn more, feel free to hit that QR code. And that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.